wait, that's me.
Alright, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Games of BK YouTube channel. I'm actually recording this intro on Monday, April 13th, 2026, the same night as the 2026 WNBA draft. And of course, this video is about my version 4.0 of the 2026 WNBA draft class in NBA 2K25. And I know I said this last time around, but NBA 2K26 is the current game, obviously, but I ain't trying to get that game, and I might not even get 2K27 unless they do a couple of things for me. First thing they got to do for me, they got to let me download all of my logos locally and not just to the cloud, because when those servers go, you lose access to all your images. Number two, the most important thing, right? The last thing they can do for me, they gotta represent the 30 years of the WNBA in this next edition if they want me to buy it, because we're celebrating 30 years of the WNBA this season, and the best thing they could do, give us a My Eras mode for the WNBA side of the game. They already got one for the NBA, so you can go back in time. Like, I'm a Bulls fan, I haven't done it yet, but I can go back in time, play as a classic Chicago Bulls team, go ahead and beat the Knicks again, over and over and over again. Sorry, Rob, but we don't have the ability to go back in time and play against or play with those classic WNBA franchises. Like, it would be cool to be able to go back in time as a New York Liberty fan and beat the Comets, beat the Sparks, beat the Aces from a few years ago, and try to rewrite some wrongs, but we can't do it. And it'll be cool to play with some of the legends of the game, like Maya Moore or Candace Parker or Lisa Leslie, or a person she's not too keen of, Lauren Jackson. But let us be able to go back in time the same way we can with the NBA side. Please let us do it. That's probably going to be the biggest factor on whether or not I buy the game. Now we can finally move on to version 4.0 of my 2026 WNBA draft class file for NBA 2K25. Check out the description box to get some instructions on how to add this draft class to your NBA 2K25 game if you're one of the holdout. Alright, so now we're taking a look at version 4.0 of my very own self-made, custom created WNBA draft class for the 2026 WNBA draft on NBA 2K25 for the 5 of us who are still holding on to this damn game. And so the main difference between this version of the draft class file and the previous ones, most notably the one that I just put out maybe a month ago, is the fact that I'm doing this with the benefit of hindsight. I'm recording this actually the afternoon after the 2026 WNBA draft. So that means I know exactly where players went if they actually got drafted. I know where players fell, I know where players rose, and I didn't have that information when I was just going by mock drafts and projections. So in this version of the draft class file, I did try to take into account whether or not a player saw a rise, like Tyana Mayer in particular. She went from like previous draft class projections where I think she was like a third rounder at best, maybe second, third rounder in the projections, to where she got drafted at the end of the first round. And I'm not even mad. Like, I paid attention to her. And, when I was doing the research on some of these players, I looked them up and like, the background, the story, like she's a tough player, gritty, from Boston, went to Boston College, transferred to Duke, defensive type, hardcore player, but she can get her offense off too. She can, so some players will have those kind of rises. She had a great ACC tournament and had some strong performance in the actual NCAA tournament, and I think that probably really helped her draft stock out a lot. She got drafted ahead of Ashlyn Jackson, her teammate from Duke, who I expected to maybe be like a second round, maybe late first round at some points, but I accounted for that, so I had to boost up Tyana Mayer from the last draft class file to this one. You had another player like Gabriela Jaquez from the national champion UCLA Bruins, who was like considered a first round pick or a second round pick depending on the mocks, but had a strong tournament including that national championship game, and she ended up like top 5. But then you had some players that might have fell, like a person who would have been considered a top 5 pick like a year ago or even at the start of this season, Tania Latson. She dropped into the second round, but I didn't want to like kill her overall ratings that much because I still think she's supremely skilled. She's just a little shorter, but I think she'll be able to score and play defense. So I, maybe adjusted the ratings down a little bit to account for the draft fall, but I think she'll still be fine. Now, in addition to like editing the ratings between the previous version and this one, I also tried my hand at a little bit of the cosmetic stuff, man. I tried to do the faces over for some of the players, try to toy around with the options to see if I could create features that were at least somewhat close to what the person looked like in real life, and still kind of failed. I tried to redo Lauren Betts. I tried to redo Our Fam. I tried to redo a couple of players, but to varying degrees of success, I guess. Now, the attire stuff, I tried to find out more information about the sneakers that the players wear and the brands that they wear, and try to make some tweaks around the edges the way I did last time. I threw a special edition Senegal flag version of the A1 sneakers, and put those on Our Fam's, like the away team or the home team sneakers. I don't know if it'll hold once she gets drafted, but I try to do little stuff like that to kind of trick out the attire. And before someone says, well, Our Fam is from Spain, yeah, I know that, but the roots are in the motherland. So I did give a Spain colors, I want to say, for one sneaker, but the roots are in the motherland, so I had to shout out West Africa, her roots, with that colorway. And another major change between this version and the previous ones is the fact that there were some more players that were in the draft class itself that I had to take out due to them being ineligible or no longer available for the draft. Like, I had a couple of foreign prospects like Pauline Astier and Emma Chekova who were listed in these databases as foreign prospects, but oddly enough, they signed with teams like the Liberty, my team, signed Pauline Astier, the guard, and the Lynx, the enemy. They signed Emma Chekova. I think they're probably like training camp deals or something like that, but they have chances to make teams. So what I did was took them out of the draft class, made them player DNAs, and just created them as players in my franchise mode. I should have made those player DNAs available in the 2K share, but I didn't do that. If you're interested, just hit me up in the comment section. The next thing I did, because those players had to be taken out, and some other players too who actually came to U.S. colleges, they were foreign prospects, so they no longer eligible for the draft. I took those players out and added other players into it, including some more foreign prospects. Like, I added a point guard from a shooting guard from Japan to the draft class, Kokoro Tanaka. I think that with the Valks, if I remember correctly, added them to the draft pool yesterday. And I took out some other players, took out those players to add Taylor Bigby, players who were drafted, domestic prospects who were drafted in the third round, had to add them in. So at the end of the last video that I put out regarding the draft 3.0, I did take some time out to shout out some of the resources that I used to put together this draft class file. So I'll try to do this again. Hopefully I don't forget anyone's name. So on that YouTube tip, we got channels like Hunter Cruz. Hunter Cruz is probably one of the more analytical based YouTube channels when it comes to women's sports. They follow the international game, they follow the collegiate game, they follow the pro game, and they have aspirations of becoming a GM, working in the front office for a WNBA franchise. And I'm hoping that they can reach it, because they're good dude from what I can understand, and they put out very good information. And I want to say that Hunter Cruz works along with Locked On Women's Sports, or women's basketball. And I think M. Adler is a part of that as well. And M and Hunter do write-ups for a website. I think they do write-ups for, I can't remember the name of the basketball blog. I don't think it's the W basketball blog, or the 9. But they write stuff as well in terms of the draft prospects. So gotta shout M and Hunter Cruz out. Now, other YouTube channels, I gotta give special consideration to Point Out Radio, someone who I actually interacted with in the comment section before. They do pretty good breakdowns and mock drafts, and they analyze players. Now we're gonna move on to Women's Hoops Masterclass. Also the same thing, they put out good breakdown videos for the players and prospects, even some prospects that might not necessarily be the most well known. And that's what I can appreciate, especially as someone who's trying to make a 150 prospect draft class. They did their thing there. The next channel I want to shout out, someone who has collaborated with Women's Hoops Masterclass, that's Basketball Society, Martin and Marcus. Excellent YouTube channel. If you want agenda-free type conversation regarding basketball, and I gotta stress the agenda-free, then you gotta go reach out to that channel and listen to what they got to say. Max Power 24/7. They're always at the ready when it comes to the college and pro women's basketball talk. A good way to kind of get a heads up on some of the players that are on the come up you can know about them before everybody else know about them. So I like listening to that channel. Now the websites, stat-wise, I go to like the team website, sometimes even FIBA website to find out stuff about international prospects to kind of get an idea of how the stats shake out. Her Hoop Stats, great resource because they go like through all of their college careers. Whether they transferred or not, you'll see like a full list of what they did and where they did it. You got the W Basketball blog for like the mock draft information, and then you got to shout out this big database on Reddit that had like all these prospects, like crazy amounts of prospects that I was able to use to help me build this draft class. Now, if you made it this far into the video, I want to thank you for taking the time out to watch. This is kind of a labor of love, a passion project, so to speak. I like doing these things. Like I used to do it all the time with the college football game and Madden and all that. Like I'm heavy into editing stuff of franchise mode, and that was pretty much the basis for all of this. Like even if I didn't have a YouTube channel, I would still be making a draft class so that I could extend the life of my 2K25 game. And I know that there are a handful of people out there who really don't like to buy the yearly sports titles, so you know, I'm in your camp. So I just want to thank y'all for taking the time out. Now let me conclude by saying that coming up next month, we're going to be running season 3 of the New York Liberty franchise mode. It's called The Long Road Back. That's the subheading for the season. I'm also going to make this draft scenario available to whoever wants it via 2K share. You can check out the description once again to figure out how to do that. And you can also get the draft class from that my scenario. So if you're still holding on to 2K25, take a look at that. I have the new draft class. I have the new expansion teams in it. I have last year's Valkyries in it, and in the off season for the next expansion, I included Cleveland and Detroit. So the servers are going to die at the end of this calendar year, so I'm kind of preparing myself for the long haul. I'm going to try to get Philadelphia in before those servers die too, just for posterity's sake, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I've gone long enough. Just check out the channel. Thanks for checking out this video, and if you got some time, check out some of the other content that we have on the Games with BK YouTube channel.
Wait, that's me.